The chessboard and the storm to read, the art of controversy is to witness not just a manual of debate, but a grand allegory of human struggle. Schopenhauer's stratagems are more than tactics. They are the moves in an ancient game, the shadows of deeper battles waged in the psyche and the collective unconscious. Let us step beyond the literal and into the mythic, where every argument becomes a symbolic clash of archetypes. Every rhetorical ploy a reflection of something older and darker. Imagine debate as a chessboard where the pieces are not pawns and rooks, but fragments of the self. The opponent is not merely another mind, but a mirror, one that reflects our own insecurities, our buried vanities, the parts of ourselves we would rather not acknowledge. When Schopenhauer describes the ad hominem attack, he is not just cataloguing a logical fallacy. He is revealing how isolated discourse devolves into primal territoriality. To insult the speaker rather than engage, the idea is to retreat into the lizard brain, where dominance matters more than truth. This is the shadow play of human intellect, the thin veneer of reason over the throbbing pulse of instinct. Or consider the sea as metaphor. An argument, at its surface, may appear orderly waves, following the pull of logic, the tide of evidence. But beneath lies the churn of unseen currents, ego, fear, the desperate need to be right. Schopenhauer's stratagems are the riptides that drag unwitting swimmers into depths they did not intend to enter. The straw man is not just a misrepresentation. It is a siren song, luring the opponent toward shallow waters where they're strongest. Points cannot follow. The red herring is the sudden squall that obscures the horizon, leaving both parties lost in a storm of irrelevance. There is, too, the myth of the labyrinth. Every protracted debate risks becoming a maze where the exit, the truth is, obscured by winding passages of digression and deflection. Schopenhauer's warning is that of Theseus. One must carry the thread of core principles lest they be lost forever in the corridors of rhetoric. The argument from authority is the minotaur in this mazer, false idol that devours independent thought. But perhaps the most potent symbol is the mask. In debate, we rarely engage as our full selves. We perform. The logician, the moralist, the skeptic, these are roles we inhabit, costumes we don for the sake of advantage. Schopenhauer strips these away, exposing the raw machinery beneath. His genius lies in showing that the most effective masks are not those that conceal, but those that exaggerate the feigned humility, the false concession. To wear them convincingly is to wield a kind of dark artistry. What does this symbolic reading reveal? That the art of controversy is not merely about winning arguments, but about the stories we tell ourselves to justify victory. It is about the rituals we perform to sanctify our biases, the myths we construct to frame our defeats as noble, our triumphs as inevitable. To engage with these stratagems is to see debate as a microcosm of all human conflict. The same dramas played out in parliaments, marriages, and the silent wars of the mind. The masks of the oracle, allegories of debate, and the will to triumph too. Distill Schopenhauer's The Art of Controversy into its most elemental form is to recognize it as a myth not yet told, a fable cloaked in prose. Whispering of ancient gods, not from Olympus, but from the caverns of the human psyche. He does not present these mythologies overtly. Rather, they rise from the subtext, like hidden constellations behind stormy clouds. The reader begins to see that each tactic, each maneuver in debate, is not merely rhetorical, but archetypal. A deeper current flows beneath the surface, symbolic narrative that reveals who we truly become when truth is no longer the aim. And when the will ascends the throne, imagine, then, a grand temple carved into a mountain of polished obsidian, somewhere beyond time. It is here that the ritual of controversy is performed. The temple's floor is a circle of mirrors, each shard angled to distort and reflect. Those who enter must step onto this unstable surface and speak, but what they say will echo strangely. Their words refracted, their meanings bent by the geometry of desire. Above the ritual space hangs a chandelier made not of crystals but of eyes that never close, the gaze of others forever bearing down. This, perhaps, is the truest setting for a debate, as Schopenhauer envisioned it. Not a neutral ground of ideas, but a ritualized performance enacted beneath the spotlight of judgment and the shadow of vanity. Two figures enter this temple. They wear masks, one golden, one silver. These are not costumes, but aspects of the self. The golden mask believes in its own brilliance, in the certainty of being right. The silver mask does not believe, but it is cunning. It speaks not to reveal, but to obscure. As the dialogue begins, it becomes clear that truth has no throne here. Instead, what is enthroned is Apat, the ancient Greek spirit of deception, cloaked in robes woven from logic and cleverness. The golden mask begins with sincerity, presenting its case with what seems like conviction. But the silver mask, dancing through Schopenhauer's stratagems, counters not with clarity but with noise quibbles, provocations, shifts in burden, emotional appeals disguised as evidence. The golden mask begins to falter, not because it lacks truth, but because it cannot penetrate the game. This tale is allegory. Yes, but it is also the shape of countless real conversations. For Schopenhauer, such dialogues are not accidents. They are the natural choreography of the human condition, where reason serves as a veil for the deeper puppeteer, the will, always hungry, always striving. The masks are not accessories. They are identities shaped by necessity. Each participant becomes both actor and hostage, both priest and sacrifice. In the theater of persuasive combat, let us consider another parable, this time of a forest deep and whispering, where every tree is a belief and every root is a motive unseen. A traveler enters the forest seeking truth, but as he walks, he discovers that each path shifts beneath his feet. The trees whisper in riddles, their leaves speaking dialectics. He meets a guide who seems wise and sure. This guide is Schopenhauer's seasoned debater. But soon the traveler realizes the guide is not interested in the heart of the forest. Instead, the guide leads him in circles, constructing elegant explanations that return always to the same glade, a place where the guide stands triumphant, regardless of the logic used to arrive. Here, the forest is the mind. The shifting paths are the strategies of controversy. The tree's beliefs are less solid than they appear, and the roots, hidden beneath soil and rhetoric, draw sustenance from emotion, history, ego. The guide knows this forest not because he believes in it, but because he knows how to navigate its illusions. Schopenhauer's lesson is not that the traveler should never enter, but that he should know the terrain is treacherous. Every conversation is a forest. What matters is whether we seek to explore or to entrap. One final vision, perhaps the most potent of all, a courtroom floating in the void of stars, where celestial bodies serve as the jury. The two advocates present their cases, their words drifting like vapor across the firmament. One speaks from the heart, the other from a playbook. Both shine momentarily, like comets, but only one leaves a lasting orbit. This is the haunting possibility Schopenhauer raises, that in the spectacle of discourse, it is often not truth that lingers, but performance. The cosmos, as audience, is not swayed by evidence, but by spectacle, repetition, and rhythm. This is why so many lies echo louder than truths. This is why so many debates end not in clarity, but in exhaustion. Yet within this mythic frame lies Schopenhauer's deeper gesture, to wake the reader not from sleep, but from illusion. For what is the art of controversy if not a book of incantations, warning the magician that the magic is real, but so are its consequences? To use these stratagems without awareness is to become the silver mask, entirely to forget one ever had a face beneath. But to see the game, to name the stratagem, to reflect on the will behind the word, this is the beginning of lucidity, if not liberation. Schopenhauer offers us this paradox. By revealing how falsehood wins, he arms us with a greater sensitivity to what truth might require. His allegories, though unstated, become clear. We are not just thinkers, but myth makers, not just speakers, but architects of belief. And every time we open our mouths to debate, we step into a timeless drama older than nations, older even than language, the drama of the will-seeking form in the vessel of discourse. In this realization lies the hidden pearl of the art of controversy. That awareness itself is a counterspell. That to speak with intention and to listen with discernment is an act not of control, but of profound humility. We are not exempt from these stratagems, but we can, perhaps, begin to see them for what they are: the masks we wear, the mirrors we hold, the stage upon which truth must dance carefully if it wishes to survive.